Está aí, ó. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the 20th anniversary playthrough of Resident Evil 2, where tonight we are concluding with Claire Scenario B. Whoever is joining from last time, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. This time around, of course, we're going to be playing the second half of the game. You play Leon A, then Claire B, or Claire A, and then Leon B. However, a lot of people felt that it was probably more appropriate if you do Leon A and Claire B. People consider that the sort of the canon version of the story. So, without further ado, let's get cracking.
Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, it might help if I could set it up properly. Option, Claire's story, there we go. This is the great thing about the GameCube version, because they managed to squeeze both CDs onto one of the GameCube discs. That way you can switch back and forth between them at will. Whereas other times, you'd have to, stop the console, take the disc out. It's really improved a hell of a lot since then. Right, Claire Scenario 2, let's do it.
In the midst of the T-virus outbreak in Raccoon City, Leon Kennedy succeeded in escaping from the city survivors. A woman named Ada, a spy seeking the deadly G-virus. However, Leon was not the sole survivor of the incident. A girl named Claire Redfield was in town on business of her own. She came to uncover the mysterious circumstances of her brother's disappearance. Chris Redfield, a member of the STARS Alpha team. Only now her mission has become quite simple. Basic survival within the nightmare that was once Raccoon City.
So there we go, that's a bit of recapping. What happened to Leon, what happened to Ada. So let's rewind ourselves right to the start of the story. When Leon arrived in town, so did Claire.
Finally here.
That guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?
Hello? Is anyone here? Hello? Hello? Look, I'm sorry I bothered you, okay? Just don't come any closer. Are you listening? Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down! We can't stay out here. Head to the police station. It'll be a lot safer. There!
going on. I arrived in town, and the whole place went insane.
The radio's out.
You're a cop, right?
Yeah, first day on the job. Great, huh? Name's Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Mine's Claire. Claire Redfield. I came to find my brother, Chris.
Hey, could you open the glove box?
Sure. There's a gun inside.
Better take it with you.
Look out!
You okay?
Still in one piece.
That maniac's gonna ram us! Station. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
You have to survive this nightmare to know the true end. So here we go. This is what happened when Leon jumped out and ran off to the police department. This is what happened to Claire. She started off pretty similarly. In fact, so similar. I'm going to change her button config just slightly. PlayStation guy, hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Nice to see a few familiar faces back for the second half of this brilliant story. Timothy, hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in, guys. It feels like a long time since I last did this playthrough. Oh, brilliant! Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. So, hopefully we'll have a few more people tuning in. I did start a little bit late today. I was having trouble with the audio, so if there's any problems with the music or the dialogue or anything, just let me know in the comments. But touch wood, it should be all good. Right, so those people with the keen eyes will notice this is the door that I deliberately didn't open in the last playthrough, because you let a couple of zombies in. So let's grab the ammo, see how we go. As usual, this isn't going to be a speed run, this is just going to be a nice leisurely stroll through the game, if you can call an undead zombie nightmare a casual stroll. There goes the barricade. Okay, I think Capcom are doing the remake. I hope they are. So here you go, zombies in the same position as before. But of course Claire has arrived before Leon arrived. So, the old zombies that run around. And now let's see what happened at the police department before Leon arrived. So that is how the helicopter ended up on the roof of the RPD. Kind of shame that guy had a submachine gun and he didn't shoot them in the head. So let's head inside. Those of you who've played this game before will know that the scenario A and B are very similar, but there's also some vast differences as well. So I try and remember, I haven't actually played scenario B for a while, so I'll try and play it as best I can. it was quite funny. A lot of people found it quite funny that I died on the last boss at the end of scenario 1. Oh my god, seriously, I've just started the game and I get attacked by crows. I think it's going to be one of those runs, guys. I think it's going to be a questionable run. Well, let's grab some herbs and see how we get on. I did actually go back before I played this scenario and I redid the end of scenario 1 that you guys would have seen last time. And I registered Leon's fingerprint. So when we get to the lab, we will actually be able to access the experiment. I think it's called the experimentation room. Let's mix up the herbs, because by God we are going to need them. I remember seeing a lot of people who'd finished scenario 1 and they're like, oh, you know, that's it? Have I just wasted my money? Is that all there is to it? And of course you're saying, no, no, no. Only finished a quarter of it. If you read the novelizations by S.D. Perry, she's novelised all the Resis to my knowledge. I don't think she's done 4, 5 and 6, but certainly 0 to 3 and Code Veronica. And she's also written 2 individual original novels, called Caliban Cove and Underworld. They're really, really good reads. They translate the game story very, very well into a good, clear narrative. And in Resident Evil 2, she ended where scenario 1 ended, so she didn't have Birkin on the train, which I was always a little bit annoyed about because I always loved that thrilling climax. So yeah, so I was to play read, sorry. Straight through avoiding the lickers. Fortunately, when we put the fire out, as we will in a minute, those lickers actually disappear. I'm not sure why Capcom did that, but it certainly saves me a bit of ammo, because, as you know, lickers are not my favourite creatures in the whole world of the game. You'll also notice as well that because of Leon A, I've now got the infinite rocket launcher, which sounds fun. However, it does mean that if I do use it, I can't get an A rank. So we're going to see how it goes. If I'm going to use the infinite rocket launcher, you know, I like to do it fully. I like to do it all the way through. I wouldn't just want to use it here and there where I had to. As I mentioned in the last playthrough, part of what I love about the original games is the fact that they really it's like a trial by fire of item management. You know, you have to conserve ammo, you have to conserve health. You know, if you don't, you will be screwed. So let's go and put that fire out. And this time I will remember the ammo that was in the cab. I didn't remember that in Leon A, so I missed out on a few rounds. But on the B scenarios, every round you can, unless you're one of these, you know, godlike players, you can do it knife only. Every single round in B scenario is important. Nice quick loading times on the GameCube. Between each shot, the PS1 lags about a second or something while it's reading the disc, so again, I do prefer the GameCube version of this game. Acid rounds, best saved for the bosses and the lickers. So what's she heard? Here we go, guys. One of the first new features of Scenario B. Umbrella's secret weapon. Mr. X has landed. Well, he's referred to as Mr. X in the S.D. Perry novelisation that I just mentioned. I think he's called the T-93 or T-90. Either way, now, for those of you who haven't played before, he's going to become a pursuer, and he will chase us throughout the game. He really is a precursor for Nemesis. Yes, the only real way to dodge past him is to let him swing, and then quickly dodge around him as he tries to swing his arm. There you go, no lickers. What was that? Let's go in and grab this key first. As I said before, guys, this isn't a speed run, so there may be points where I'm standing there scratching my head, trying to figure out what I'm doing again. So let's go and grab, I think it's the blue card key, if I remember. Yep, that's right. So, of course, Marvin doesn't give it to you this time. King Gamer Arthur, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. That's a bit of liquor escaping there. Those guys, I tell you what, decapitation in one hit. Thank God they can't open doors, or else this would be a very, very short game. Just behind me there, on the next to the typewriter, is the Secretary's diary. I did mention it in the last playthrough, but if you're ever interested in finding out what's going on behind the scenes and so you know what happened before you arrived, that's a really, really good place to look up. You find out all about Police Chief Brian Irons and his less than savoury hobbies, shall we say. So now, if we go... Sorry guys, just having trouble with the old windows popping up. Diamond Bar, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. It's great to see so many people back. As I said before, I was kind of like wondering, you know, who would actually watch this, but it's interesting to see a lot of people come back, especially people I remember from last time. Oh dear, we're not off to a good start. Not off to a good start at all. As I said before, you know, you can play this game for 20 years, you can play it 1,000 times, and then sometimes you will still get screwed over. And again, let me know in the comments, guys, if this is your first time experiencing Resi. It'd be great to hear. I'm fascinated to see what people think of the game for the first time, given how far the series has come technologically, but again, a lot of people like myself do prefer the old classic fixed cameras, survival horror element, where it wasn't just a case of, you know, mowing down everything that moves. Diamond Bar, that's great to hear. Glad you enjoy it. I don't know why Claire isn't aiming manually, this is not right. Auto, there we go. Did I say manually? I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so one bite from a zombie and I'm now limping. That was a feature they included in Resi 2. In the first one, the character gave absolutely no indication whatsoever of whether or not they were injured. So, it was quite a cool little feature in Resi 2. So let's go and use 2 of our new items. Again, as you'll notice, we don't walk in through the front door in this one like scenario A. And we get the grenade launcher. And again, we are going to need it. I cannot tell you how much we are going to need that grenade launcher. Yeah, what the hell, let's take the ink ribbon. So the blue keycard isn't just going to unlock the downstairs doors like it did last time, it's also going to unlock the library. However, don't let that fool you. If we go into the library now, we'll trigger 2 massive break-ins, which is going to make the game even harder than it already is. And so, I am going to follow the advice of some fellow players, and I'm going to avoid the library until the last minute. Try and, you know, get through all the other areas that I don't need yet. I wouldn't call myself the best zombie dodger in the world, so this time around I'm going to kill a lot of zombies. Just call me Zombie Slayer Supreme or something silly like that. And lo and behold, there are zombies in the safe room. This threw off a lot of people when they first played it, because they ran straight into the safe room like, oh I know it's safe here, oh shit, zombies. Stay down, you bastard. Look at the textures on this zombie here, he's brilliant, he's got all the musculature. Oh boy, they do like that, don't they? It's funny because in the previous playthrough, virtually no zombies lunged at me. And in this one, all of them are. Hey, perhaps that's scenario B, perhaps it's programmed to have more zombies lunging at you. I'm not sure really. Maybe I should bust out the rocket launcher and just mow them all down. Hey, tell me in the comments, should I use the infinite rocket launcher and blast my way through the game for fun? Tell me what you think. No liquor outside the window this time. Diamond Bar says yes, I should grab the rocket launcher and mow my way through the hordes of the undead. Andrew says no rocket launcher. No ammo. Oh, there is ammo. Oh, that's good. I was starting to wonder because I picked it up in the first scenario. You can't hear the hissing of the liquor because obviously he's not here. And the key is now useless. I believe all that's in there is a first aid spray. Let's give it a try. Of course, this corridor, once I go to the library, this corridor will be full of zombies. So that's the last thing we want. Andrew, you're a fan of this game as well, I'd imagine. But you're obviously one of the professionals. No infinite rocket launcher for you. Awesome, Diamond Bar. Thanks for the like and the sub. As I said, I plan to do more of these. People really seem to enjoy the old classic Resis as much as I do. Next Wednesday, I'm thinking about doing another stream, which will be the uncut version of the first Resident Evil, which a lot of people haven't seen. A lot of people I've spoken to haven't seen it. So it would be really interesting if people wanted to tune in for that. You've got the original music that wasn't used. You have the original cutscenes, all unedited. So if people are interested in that, I could certainly stream that for you. Remember the arms that came through the window? Well, not this time. Instead, we have 2 gate crashes. Straight into the briefing room, but when I come out, they are going to be waiting for me, and they are very hard to avoid. As you can see, Scenario B is pretty much kind of like a rinse and repeat. Yes, Diamond Bar, you do. It's such a brilliant game. As I said, I haven't played Scenario B for quite a long time, and for me that's quite unusual. Diamond and King Game Arthur and Andrew, you all know each other? You all friends? That's awesome. Good to see a friendly bunch. Hopefully more people will tune in later. I have shared this on a few groups. People are going to watch me make a fool of myself. Ah. Oh, no worries, that's cool. You can see straight away. It's a lot harder. And again, there's no zombies in this corridor, which is great. You know, Capcom really wanted to shake people up. Hey guys, sorry about that. I had to quickly look out the window at the supermoon. It's a super blue moon tonight, they're saying, because it's the second full moon in the month. Diamond Bart, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us, and feel free to tune in later. I will be on for a couple of hours. Okay, back to this room again. No pictures to develop at the moment. But as I said, you can go through the game and you can find all sorts of pictures, mostly of G-mutants. I don't think you can get the secret Rebecca picture again, because I've already got that in scenario 1. Right, I won't need that yet. Now what the hell, let's keep the grenade launcher. Just for emergencies. It's quite nice not having all these zombies down here to dodge past. They're not too hard because you've got quite a lot of area that you can run around them on. But again, Scenario B does like to mix things up. I remember playing this for the first time, and everything was different. Everything seemed completely different. Up here, just at this point here, there's a door in one of the beta versions. We're not sure where it goes to. I haven't found it out, but a lot of the beta versions I've seen played and had a look at, there was another door there. So it's possible that was a bit like the Resi remake, that it linked to another area, perhaps like another corridor. But then perhaps they wanted to make it harder by only giving you a limited amount of places that you could visit. Yeah, Diamond Bar, it's huge tonight, like really, really bright. So people, if there's a wish that you want to make, wish it tonight on the blue moon, and who knows. Me, I'm kind of hoping I can get through this game without dying. So there's the old red jewel puzzle again, and we'll get the second of the Virgin Hearts. Obviously, as you know, we don't use this until later. Have to tiptoe our way back into that room with the liquor that jumped through the skylight. Another one of those brilliant jumpy moments when you first play it, you just like, you know, heart in your throat. Back to the STARS office. So again, cast your mind back. At this point, Leon's running about. Or it's possible at this point that Leon is already here.
It's good to see you're still among the living. It looks like we're not gonna find your brother here after all. There's no reason for us to stay any longer than necessary. Let's split up, look for any survivors, and get out of here.
Right.
One last thing. Here's a radio. Take it. That way we can keep in touch if anything happens.
Oh, sorry guys, just realised I muted my mic. Not very helpful. So there we go, just met Leon. As you may have noticed, that obviously is a direct copy of the scene from Leon A, which of course shows you perfectly how well tied in these two scenarios are. We're not going to take the bowgun. It's kind of fun pinning the crows to walls and that, but it's absolutely useless. You know, there is no power to it at all. Even with zombies, it takes 3 or 4 rounds of bolts to take them down. Let's grab the ammo. Oh no, hang on. Okay, Scenario B removed that. That's the interesting thing again, because there are certain points in the game where if you grabbed ammo in Scenario 1, it won't be there in Scenario 2. The diamond key's here this time. And what's this? Something else new. I'll just grab this for completionist's sake. It's basically a memo to Chris, I believe, talking about the investigations they've been doing into the RPD and how they haven't really found anything that conclusive to prosecute Umbrella with.
Help me!
There's our first glimpse of Sherry. I'm not going to even try and run down there to see where Sherry went. But of course, saying that, I'm also at the library. Gonna have to bite the bullet and let the zombies in. I know I said I wouldn't do this, but I kind of got myself cornered. So again, in Leon Scenario A, you've got to put one of the shutters down, either this one or the basement. That corridor, fortunately, I don't have to go back through again. This one, however, I do, basement. So I've really shot myself in the foot there by letting the zombies in. I know I said I'd go to the library last thing, but as I said, I seem to have lost my bearings just slightly, having not played it for a while. You'll have to forgive me for being rusty, guys. Daria, hello. Thanks for joining us. It is very nostalgic. As I said, you know, this game was 20 years old last week, and it's great to see so many people still love it as much as I do. I was saying, you know, I wonder how many games that are out today, like modern games, are still going to be loved and played in 20 years' time. You know, I honestly don't know. I mean, maybe The Last of Us. Maybe The Last of Us, maybe, you know, Uncharted or something, perhaps. You know, Dragon Age. I'm not really sure. Maybe Oblivion. I don't know. I can't really think of any games that will still be as revered in 20 years' time. And I think that says a lot about this game. You know, it was 70% finished, and then it was scrapped. Virtually all the assets were scrapped. Those of you who've seen stuff on Resi 1.5, the infamous Resident Evil 1.5, the game that would have been... China, hi, thanks for joining us. The Resident Evil 1.5 game that could have been, of course, it didn't have Claire and it had Elsa Walker, who was a motorbike riding student, I should say. And she was going to be coming to the city, I think to do with university, gets caught up in the zombie epidemic, yada yada yada. But of course Capcom didn't really, you know, they thought perhaps we need more of a tie to the original game. So of course they created Claire, who they made Chris's sister. And of course that's good because then that gives Claire kind of like, you know, a personal motive. She didn't just wander in here, you know, like, oh hello, what's going on here? She actually had a purpose, she had a reason to be here. And so that was a pretty cool decision, and I'm glad Capcom did it like that. Of course most of that storyline goes out of the window in the movies. Although I must admit, when I did play Resi, and I was thinking about a movie, I did actually think, what about Ali Larter from Final Destination? Because I always thought she actually looked quite a lot like Claire. I always thought. And lo and behold, they cast Ali Larter in the movie. So, I guess great minds think alike, but then again, I personally wouldn't call Paul W.S. Anderson a great mind. I know people's opinions differ on the movie. You can actually play with the liquor here. It knows I'm here, but it can't figure out where I am. He's listening. He's always listening. You wait for him to relax like that. Ah, screw this. That was easy enough. It's kind of a shame wasting 2 grenade rounds because I don't have to come back here again. Now, whereas Leon gets the king plug, he obviously has that great chest plug puzzle. Claire will get the stones. We got we got the serpent stone in the library, and we get half the blue stone here. Because Claire only has the 3 stones to get, whereas Leon had 4 plugs. And so quite cleverly they thought, we'll split one of the stones in half, we'll hide them, so then Claire also has 4 items to get. What I'll do, I'll quickly dump that in the chest. Going back to the movies, yeah. Feel free to tell me in the comments what you think of the live-action Resident Evil movies. I mean, I've played the series since I was 8 years old. I mean, I've played it ever since day one, since its inception. So when I first saw the movie, you know, I was really, really looking ahead to, you know, I want to see what the mansion looks like. I want to see Chris and Jill. I want to see, you know, who they cast as Wesker. How are they going to do the Tyrant? Is it going to be CG? And so I saw the first film and was like, I think my review of it was, Alice, who the fuck is Alice? And I've watched the documentaries, and, you know, Paul Anderson said, yeah, I based Resident Evil on Alice in Wonderland because of the Alice character, and Kaplan's always worried about time. He represents the White Rabbit. And the Red Queen is meant to be like the Queen of Hearts, the all-seeing villain. And I said, dude, have you not played the games? You know, it's like making a Harry Potter movie and saying, yeah, we didn't decide to follow the story of the books because, you know, people would know what was going to happen. So we thought we'd just change everything and just kind of reference them. So, I wasn't impressed with the films. But feel free to tell me in the comments. Oh, hello. Now that isn't fair. That guy has never been there before. Ah, why are you all in different positions? Seriously, that's weird. I do not remember them ever being in different positions like that. Okay, let's see. It's one of the other features I wasn't too sure about in the later games. They, when you open your inventory, you know, time just carries on. Which I guess creates more panic, but also having that brief moment to, juggle your inventory and take a quick breather. It's kind of nice to do, but of course they took it out in later games. Aha, we have a survivor. My grenade sorter. We have 2. Again, this room I'm going to be coming through a fair bit. Sorry, that's a very good point, yeah. But of course, I suppose the first 3 were so impressive because they were so new, whereas 7, it's still obviously meant to be a Resident Evil game, but 7 is basically a product of all the horror that has come since Resident Evil. So Resident Evil 7 has been shaped by the games that were shaped by the early Resi games. In the same kind of way, you've got the Uncharted trilogy, well, the Uncharted quadrilogy. Everyone look to the left. There's Red Rum, the reference to The Shining, in case you missed it the first time round. So yeah, you have Resident Evil 7, inspired by the games that came since Resi, in the same way Uncharted was inspired by Tomb Raider, and yet the new Tomb Raiders are inspired by Uncharted. So inspiration works like that, you know, it comes full circle. There we go, the liquor doesn't jump through. Who was expecting that? Quickly grab the old red herb down here. So of course we'll be coming back here later with the club key and the lighter. I mustn't forget the lighter. I don't know about you guys, but I always tend to forget the items at the important times. we have 2 of the stones. Now we just need a 3rd one. And then we can head down to the basement. Because let's face it, in every horror film, you gotta go down to the basement. I mean, that's just, you know, a given. Has anyone seen the animated films? Resident Evil Degeneration, Damnation, and Vendetta, the new ones? Let me know what you think in the comments. I thought they were more faithful to the film, the game, sorry. But of course, you know, they use the same characters. But even then, it was like, it's just, you know, a Hollywood action fest. It doesn't even feel, you know, particularly. I guess, you know, it just doesn't have the essence of the games, and I don't know if that's because, you know, you're not actually playing it yourself. What am I doing? There's no save room in here. God. No, I don't want the rocket launcher. Actually, I do. I'll move it there. There we go. Sorry, just planning in my head where I need to go. Ah, I do need to go through that corridor again. As I said, sorry, I'm a little bit rusty on this. I haven't played it for a while. That's the great thing about Scenario B, it shakes things up and you suddenly find yourself like misremembering things. Here's something I don't do very often. I'm going to save in the main hall. Because there's 2 ways back to the room I need to go. There's the one way, which is back up the stairs, and through the room with a little annex. However, it's very, very claustrophobic in there. And there are a lot of zombies. But saying that, I suppose I could. It's either that or the long corridor here, where the liquor used to be. So you get times like this where you get like a, you know, branch in the road, you know, which way is safer. Upstairs, the zombies will be munching on the corpse. It'll take them a few seconds. I could slip past them. But then I'm going to try down here, just because there's more space. I'm hoping I can be a little bit nimble, a little bit agile perhaps, and dodge past them. I'm hoping. I hate that when the zombies block your view. And I'll take out these guys. Overall, I guess it was probably the safer of the 2 routes, but thinking about it, I probably should have gone upstairs. I thought I heard footsteps there. I thought there was another one. I thought only 2. No, there was a 3rd one. It feels like playing it again for the first time. And I'm There was only supposed to be 2. Where did you all come from? Oh jeez, at least that area is clear now. Well, fairly clear. You can see why they upped the ante in Scenario B. Got to make it more challenging. No, this is stupid. Guys, I'm playing Resi 2 in a way, in a sort of a route that I've never taken before. And I don't know where all these zombies keep coming from. This is ridiculous. I played this game for 20 years and I did not know this shit was coming along. Oh my god, this is bad. Oh shit, it's got to be grenades. tuned in to see an amazing world record speedrun, guys, you're going to be sorely disappointed. And someone who wastes all their ammo. My god, this is ridiculous. I knew I should have taken the route upstairs. I knew the route through the library would have been the better option. Why didn't I trust my instincts? Oh my god, right. What do we need? Right, we need to do this. And you know what, I'm going to save it anyway because this is stupid. I'm making a mess of this run. It's nice to see people are still watching. I bet you're probably all laughing your heads off right now because you're thinking, God, this guy, you know, claims he's played the game a lot, he's really experienced, and he's making a complete mess. Hey, it's not my fault. These enemies just seem to appear out of nowhere. And yeah, by the way, I'm not going to be going for the A rank. No, I'm not on this one. Not on your life. You know, that bow gun is starting to look mighty tempting. If those zombies respawn again, I'm going to go apeshit. Now we're good, there we go. I think the police station is probably my least favourite bit of Scenario B. Susan are evil. Yes, I feel like a noob. I definitely feel like a noob. It's been it's been too long since I last played this. Hey Alex, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. We have two kings. We have King Gamer Arthur, and we have Alex the Consumed King. I know I shouldn't really kill all the zombies in here. It's a waste of ammo, but you know what are you gonna do? When you had an unluckier run as mine. So it's no evil. Play away. Play all you like. You're probably far better than me at this game. Right, here we go. Back out in the main hall. I am running on fumes at the moment. This is a bad run, but as I said, it's just meant to enjoy the game. It's not meant to be, you know, a record breaker or anything. So now I have the detonator and the plastic explosive. Immortal Mark 93, how's it going? Yeah, well, as I said, this is Scenario B, which is notoriously harder. Alex, no, I'm not playing the DualShock version. I kind of am because I'm playing the game card. Let me start again. I'm playing the GameCube version, and I think that was kind of a port of the US version. And because it has rumble features, I would imagine it was probably that. It probably took the rumble version, the DualShock version, and put it on the GameCube. No, I'll get the stones later. Right, let's go and see what's behind. There is Alex, yeah, and you know what? If my run keeps... Yeah, that's it, yeah, you can get the infinite rocket launcher, infinite submachine gun, and infinite Gatling gun. And to be honest, my run is going so badly, I might actually have to end up using the infinite rocket launcher. Immortal Mark, yeah, so did I. I've got William Birkin in his kind of dog form with all the teeth from Scenario A, and I've got him with the eyeballs standing up with William's original head lodged in his chest, and I've got the Mr. X figure as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah. If any of you guys collect the figures, that's really, really good. The figures for Resi are brilliant. There's so many great ones out there. So welcome to the Chief's office, where the creepy Brian Irons... I don't know about you guys, but he reminds me of Mr. Kraft from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the principal.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were another one of those zombies.
Are you Chief Irons?
Yes, that's me. And just who are you? No, don't bother telling me. It makes no difference. You'll end up just like all the others. That's the mayor's daughter. I was told to look after her, but I failed miserably. Just look at her. She was a true beauty. Her skin nothing short of perfection. But it will soon putrefy, and she will turn into a zombie within the hour, like all the others.
There must be some way to stop it.
In a manner of speaking, there is. Either by putting a bullet through her brain, or by decapitating her completely. And to think that taxidermy used to be my hobby. But no longer, please. I'd really like to be alone now.
He's got a creepy sort of Norman Bates thing going on, hasn't he? Well, let's go and have a little look around his office. Of course, those of you who've read the diaries of the Chief... Boo, tiger. Those of you who've read the Secretary's diaries and the Chief's diary will know he's actually a lot more malevolent than he first appears. There is something very, very dark about this man. And it does that in quite a cool way, that it suddenly makes you more fearful, actually, of a human survivor than it makes you of the zombies and the monsters, you know. The fact that, you know, a human like him could be capable of something so terrible.
Wait. Let me go! Easy, easy there. I'm not a zombie. You're safe now. My name's Claire. What's yours?
Sherry.
Do you know where your parents are?
They both work at the Umbrella Chemical Plant, near the city limits.
The chemical plant? Then what are you doing here?
My mom called and told me to go to the police station because it was too dangerous to stay at home.
From the look of things, I'd say she was probably right, but it's dangerous here as well. You'd better come with me.
But there's something out there. I don't know what it is, but I saw it. Much larger than any of those zombies. And it's coming after me.
What was that?
That's what I was telling you about. It's here.
Sherry, wait!
There's Sherry and something is hunting her. And there's some handgun bullets that I desperately need because I'm a complete noob at this game. So there's another diary there. You read that from the secretary of Brian Irons, and she talks about, you know, how he snaps at her, he gets angry, and she's creeped out by him. He seems very, very sinister. In Leon Scenario B, the tyrant, Mr. X, always corners you in that corridor. I think it's Leon. I don't think I've ever met him there as Claire.
Chief?
Where's the Chief gone? And why did he leave us a key in his diary? The diary I would recommend that you read when you play it. Seeing what, you know, terrible things he's done and how he feels about it. There's also a great couple of videos on YouTube where the original voice actor actually reads the diary entries in Chief Irons' voice. It's absolutely brilliant, like really, really creepy. Yes, you do. Yeah, you see one of the T-103 tyrants dead in the factory at the end of Resi 3. And the Nemesis slug, I call it, starts eating him and mutates. So you could say perhaps that maybe the T-103 was engineered there. Secretary's Diary A. I wonder again in the remake. It's funny you say that, Alex. I was literally just about to talk about the remake. I wonder if there'll be like a trophy or something for collecting all the files, because that seems to be the done thing in later games. Yeah, I know what you mean, Alex. It's you know, what are we supposed to think? You know, we've heard all these rumours, we've heard all this speculation. I know PlayStation guy on this thread last time, he was talking about what he'd heard and what he thought, but you know, it's kind of hard to tell. You know, what are we supposed to think? Don't mind me just taking the wrong turn. All we've heard from Capcom is, you know, we're doing it, and then we've heard the odd the original director the other day on Twitter said he went out for a drink with the new director and said, you know, do as you please, do what you want, you know, I trust you. And I made the point of a lot of the team probably, you know, were kids when Resi 2 came out, so I wonder how much, you know, passion and respect there'll be. Oh, Alex, you started early. I'm the same, yeah, I started playing Resi when I was very, very young. At the time, it was just so groundbreaking, you know. I came off sort of Sonic the Hedgehog, and suddenly saw Resi, and it was like a movie. It was like watching a film. It was exciting and thrilling and that. Immortal Mark, thanks for the subscription. Been great chatting to you. I mean, thanks a lot, and I'll be on here for a while. So I mean, tune back in later if you like. I've got a feeling I'm not going to dodge the zombies so well in this corridor. See you, Alex. Thanks for watching. This is going to be. Ah, get off. Okay, cool. I said I'm kind of new to streaming, so I'm not really sure what people do when they're watching. I guess they I guess you guys are like gaming as well, perhaps, or something. Cool, you won't see that very often. I actually dodged quite well. I think it is possible to dodge them if you're quick, but more often than not, it's impossible. But hey, welcome to Scenario B, guys. This is where the shit hits the fan and the game changes and things get really difficult. Did I say things got difficult? I said, you watch the people on YouTube doing this knife only, and they're dodging absolutely everything. But I think they're probably segmented. I mean, they probably save state before each room. You know, do the room as perfectly as possible, then edit together. Obviously, this is me just doing a single segment run. You know, it's I'm not a professional. I'm not a speedrunner. I never claimed to be, but I'm just someone who loves Resi. Fortunately, all the codes and the puzzles are the same. Yeah, I hope so, Alex. I mean, a lot of people did think that maybe they'd announce something for the 20th anniversary. I certainly did. Alright, let's get our skates on. Damn it, zombie, get out of the way. I tend to just mow these guys down with acid rounds, but you need to preserve your ammo. Scenario B takes absolutely no prisoners. It does make you wonder, doesn't it, Alex? You know, they should have at least said, you know, something. Just tell us something about what's going on. They know how cautious I'm being. They're giving me all these ink ribbons. It's only because, you know, I don't want to die halfway through the game and then, you know, have to put you guys through watching it all again. You know, I don't want to do that. I want everyone to enjoy this run, even though it's hard and even though it's probably frustrating for you guys to watch. But it's a hard game. I said, you know, in this day and age, if you were playing this and it was like a modern Resi, you know, you'd have assault rifles, rocket launchers, everything, and you'd be mowing down everything in sight, and all the zombies would be dropping ammo for you, and it would just be like, you know, it would just be a shooter. It would just be, you know, Call of Zombies, I guess you'd call it.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried.
No, you weren't.
We've got to go now, honey, okay? If we stay here, that monster will find us. Let's go.
No, I won't.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
She's only just met you, of course not.
It's not that, Claire. It's because of my daddy. He's over there. I heard him call my name. Daddy must have been attacked by the monsters. I have to help him.
Wait, Sherry, don't go alone. Sherry! Sherry!
What is this, Legend of Zelda? It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Now we play Sherry. She's alright, you know, she's harder to grab, so the zombies tend to just do their old vomit drop things on her. And no dogs this time, just zombies, so should be alright. It is interesting that Sherry mentioned, you know, her dad. She heard her dad call her name. Yeah, she's alright. As I said, the zombies don't really grab her. But her saying that her dad called her name, in the original beta versions, if you watch them on YouTube, when Birkin turned up in his kind of half-human form, he did actually roar Sherry. You'd hear him saying it. I suppose that perhaps bled into Nemesis saying stars, so, you know, when you heard that sound uttered, that word uttered somewhere, you knew there was trouble. I honestly don't remember Scenario B being this hard. There we go, oh, we tried! Oh, you tried to grab. I haven't played the Japanese version, Alex. No, I haven't. I've heard it's slightly easier, if that's true, and they have the S rank, which the other versions don't. We only go up to A. Which I will not be getting on this because I've completely butchered the run, but hey, it's all good fun. This bit was always frustrating. I remember playing this for the first time. She's just so slow climbing those stairs. She'll lift a leg up and it'll slip off. And oh, okay. I wonder why it's easier. I wonder why in Japan they make this particular game easier. I wonder if Birkin goes down after 2 pistol bullets. Something tells me he probably doesn't. Also, anybody know where Sherry's outfit's from? It's kind of an odd thing to just be wearing when you're at home and your parents call you and tell you to go to the police station because it's dangerous. It's Sailor. It's not Sailor Moon, is it? It's a Sailor something outfit, I think. If anyone knows, tell me in the comments, because I don't. Normally her leg slips now and then, but she hasn't actually slipped the whole time. Well done, Sherry. You made it to the top. You don't have to push all the crates in together, but I always do. I'm a little bit OCD like that. Obviously reminiscent of that puzzle in the first game, just before you meet the sharks. Sherry, do you run really, really slow, or is it just me? I'm not sure. So a quick look at her little picture. If she was going on Deal or No Deal, this is what she'd take as her lucky charm. You can't tell, but it's William, Sherry, and Annette. When I was a kid, I used to write, I guess you'd call it fan fiction. I used to write, short stories, filling in the gaps. One of them was about Wesker escaping the mansion at the end of the first game, which they then obviously actually made years later with the Dark Side Chronicles. And one of the stories I had was Sherry at home on her own, watching the film. She gets the phone call from her mum. A zombie breaks through the window and she has to get to the police department. And the story ended where she meets Claire in that room.
Claire! Are you there?
Sherry, are you okay? Did you find your dad?
Yes, I'm okay. But I couldn't find him. But I did find something else for you. Here! Here's another.
Thanks, sweetie. Now, why don't you come over here? I want you to stay with me.
Claire! I can't reach the ventilation hole anymore. But don't worry, I'll find another way.
There's a tunnel just behind you.
Wait, Sherry, come back! Sherry! Sherry!
Do you read me, Claire? We now have access to the back of the parking lot.
Got it.
I'm getting out of here and heading to the sewer. Can you meet me there?
I'm on my way.
So again, you'll probably remember that from Leon's scenario A. It's great the way they tied the scenarios together. I always used to wonder, if that was an intention from the start. I think when it was... Pick up the goddamn grenades, Claire. What are you doing? There we go. 50 minutes. Wow, that's impressive. I think initially when they were saying that it was Leon and Elsa, I think the stories were going to be completely separate and they weren't actually going to meet. It was just going to be, play as one of two survivors. I'm glad they tied it together though. I mean, I really, really like what they did with the game. I think it was smart, it was clever, and as I said, considering it was, 70% finished. I'm really, really sorry guys, but I'm in bad shape. I think I'm going to have to use the rocket launcher. Hey, I've earned it, right? I did alright in A. I reckon I could do this. Besides, I've already saved too much. I was never going to get an A rank. Alex, you should go for the world record, man. If you stream it, let me know. I'd definitely watch that. You have to excuse me, guys. I'm not going to use the rocket launcher forever. I'm literally just going to use it to get through a couple of hard bits. Yeah, the old ones did have a lot of collectibles. I mean, these days you probably have to pay to, to unlock them all, which is kind of a shame. I love how when you walk in the room, Claire instantly looks up. You know where it is. There's one. And there's two. Sorry, Lickers, I know it's not very sportsmanlike, but I'm doing really badly at this scenario and I need a bit of help. Yeah, that laser beam weapon, what was it called? The Plagus laser or something? Oops. Don't mind the scratching, sorry. I have a little pet rat who's just playing the game with me. And he's just come up for a little wander. Hi, nice to see you. Hey dude, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. I think you missed most of the bad run that I've had. I've had a bad time. And there you go, guys, because in the first scenario you take the submachine gun. In this scenario, you take the side pack. If Leon took both, there'd be nothing for Claire. And likewise, if you took the side pack, Claire would have the submachine gun. It's one of those clever little crossover parts there, which again encourages you, to be a little bit more stealthy. You know, trying to predict what's coming. Always worth aiming when you get to a corner. That's a good question, dude. Well, we've been talking about the remake quite a lot. The announced remake, it was announced in 2015, I think, officially. So we're hoping it comes to PS4 soon. Is that green herb? That green herb is there. Good, I need it. I've heard rumours about it being episodic, perhaps, like Hitman and Life is Strange. So it's possible, you know, maybe you'd have to buy Leon A, then buy Leon B. By game, well, technically A and B scenarios are the full game. A I did in 1 hour 44 minutes. Oh, nice doggy. Nice doggy. There we go. It's always handy when there's a body around there just to keep him occupied. No, it's not a speed run. It's just literally because the anniversary of the game was last week. I played scenario A, and so this scenario B is just a way to to just enjoy the game, just share it with people. Because of course, when this came out, there was no YouTube. Internet was still very young. So you know, all of us fans didn't know each other. So it's nice being able 20 years on to share it with the world. Plus, I haven't played this in a while. And judging by how sloppy my gameplay's been so far, I think that's probably quite obvious. So yeah, it's just a playthrough, really, just a bit of fun. I hate those dogs with a passion. Yeah, PS1, that's where I played it first. Oh. Yeah, cheers for that, guys. Oh, you guys, come on, give me a chance. Better get out of there quick. That's it, as I said, it was announced a while ago. So, it'd be great if we did actually finally get some info on it. Oh, damn those dogs. See, the zombies are slow, you know, I don't mind slow zombies, but the quick dogs I do not enjoy. As I'm trying to use the rocket launcher sparingly, I don't think it's fun if you literally just go through and blast everything to pieces. So, just gonna use it as and when. Of course, if you do scenario B, which sounds impossible, without saving, you can unlock the infinite Gatling gun. Oh, Alex, how did that go? Well, scenario B knife only. Screw you zombies, I've earned this rocket launcher and you're all going to feel it. Sure, yeah, if anyone can help Kay for that, anybody want to jump on Resi 5 at some point? I would, but I've got it on PS3, I haven't got it on PS4. Nothing in this locker. Maybe that's because I took it last time? Not sure. The game does love giving you acid rounds. And later on when we meet the bosses, you will see why. It's one of the only bodies that doesn't have ammo on. The way that the scenario B, you know, mixes up the enemy positions as well, it reminds me of the director's cut. If you guys have played the arrange mode of the director's cut of Resi 1, you'll remember that changed up the camera angles, changed up the enemy positions. It was hard, to say the least. Oh, you... I seriously don't remember these guys being different places. Well, considering I've played it like every year pretty much since it came out, I've always enjoyed it, you know, I've been used to it. I know people don't like the tank controls, a lot of people aren't happy with tank controls in this day and age. But I said it's really not hard. Up is basically wherever your character's facing. That's it. That's all there is to it. I'm not really... I don't mind, you know, the over-the-shoulder camera. I think it works. It works for horror, I think, as well. It's just the best parts of horror are what you don't know. So it's what you can't see that's going to get you. You know, that's the good stuff. And so I just think if you can see everything and you can see everything your character sees, it's less scary, I think. Yeah, I have done that secret, Alex. Yeah, I did. I didn't film it the first time around because, again, this is just a bit of fun. You know, I'm not trying to do any challenges on this, but I mentioned it to people. I know obviously you haven't got enough ammo because you can't pick anything up, but they say the best thing to do is try and get him to lunge at you. And judging by how many zombies have lunged at me in scenario B, it's probably quite easy. Also, if you leave him alive in scenario 1, make him appear but leave him alive, he's still outside in scenario 2. So you can still go and finish him off there. Claire obviously gets that very, very cool cowgirl outfit, which is great. And she gets the 6-shooter revolver. But it's pretty crap, and that's all it has is 6 shots. You can't reload the damn thing, so it's pretty pointless. Right, let's go and clear one of the last rooms, and soon we'll be moving on to the sewers out of the police station. Yeah, exactly. You get like a road map in your head, don't you? Like a route plan almost. And yeah, once you get the hang of it, it's all right. But as I said, I haven't played Scenario B for a while. This is the press release room. No doubt there was a hell of a lot of people here saying, "Why is there a zombie epidemic? Why is everyone trying to eat each other? Yada yada yada." And it says like the Queen, the King, and the Jack. So there's number 12, that's the Queen. Number 13, that's the King. And then number 11, that's the Jack. Oh! I remember that catching everybody out. No, I've never had a glitch where my character went through a wall and instantly died. No, never heard of that one. I didn't think you could go through walls. I think it was all 100% solid. Everyone remembers that bit where the tyrant burst through the wall. God, what a bastard. And he's through again! But if you're quick... Did you know Nemesis in Resi 3 is based on an unused concept design for this guy? So they were both pursuers in their like original forms. Oh, that's interesting, Alex. Yeah, no, I've never ever heard of that before. I wonder if anybody's ever filmed it. I know there's like action replay codes where you can walk through walls, but I wasn't aware that that actually ever made you die. Let's go and grab the old grenade launcher. I have a feeling I might need it, and put some of this health away. Again, you look at modern Resi games and you just think, you're mowing down all the enemies, and they're all dropping ammo, they're dropping hand grenades, they're dropping health, they're dropping money, and you're just like, this is stupid, you know, the game's just giving me everything, the game's just holding my hand. You know, whereas this one was a lot more challenging. This one said, oh, you haven't been saving health, too bad. And then if you were really, really good, you know, you'd die at the first boss. Amongst the many, many, many rumours I've heard about the remake, some people have said it's going to have a classic mode, a bit like GoldenEye did, where you'll be able to play with the old classic camera angles and ink ribbons and that. Have a little dance with the liquor dance sometimes. Just getting to turn around, trying to get him to listen. I mean, ultimately, if they do the Resi 2 remake like they did the Resi 1 remake, you know, keep the same essence of the game, same characters, but add new areas, add a couple of new features, you know, like quick turns, defense items. That was good. I mean, to my knowledge, there was nothing really wrong with the Resi remake. Apart from the Crimson Heads, those guys were bastards, but again, you know, you want a challenge, it's not all going to be exactly the same, is it? My favourite Resi game? This one. That's why I'm still playing it 20 years later. Closely followed... Well... I've got a soft spot for the PS1, because that's the one I first played it on. This version I'm playing is the GameCube. And, oh, I got rid of the Krang, that was nice, don't need that anymore. The GameCube one's good, because you can skip cutscenes, and it's smoother. Resi 4 on Wii is great fun. And see, that works, because it's over the shoulder, you know, you're able to aim, and you're able to aim the same way the character aims. So, that really, really benefits from being on the Wii. I haven't played the Biohazard Archives games, which are the GameCube ones, they basically fit in with Wii controls. I haven't played those yet. But, I imagine they'd be exactly the same. Oh really, that's pretty cool, I'll have to play that at some point, that sounds quite fun. But then of course, you know, if you're playing the game for a long time, it's like, you know, playing The Legend of Zelda on the Wii. Do you want to be sat there, you know, 70 hours waving your arm around like crazy? Yeah, the Wii's great fun. I love the Wii. Definitely got a soft spot. Uh-oh, look who's back! Should have called this guy the Terminator. He is relentless. I will be right back, guys. There we go, told you I'd be right back. Just in time for the pause. Right, okay. Obviously we haven't seen the last of that guy, he'll be back. Guess we've got ourselves some acid rounds. You spend 3 or 4, and you get a few more. Now we're going to try and dodge that liquor again. Sometimes that helps, you sort of... Oh, God, he's getting too close. You let them get close and then you make them jump, you lure them into jumping. Right, I'm going to save again. Call me cautious, but we've got a boss fight coming up, and judging by my luck in the first part of the game, I am not too optimistic. So let's give it a whirl. And no, I'm not going to use the rocket launcher on the boss because I only use that in one area. I don't really want to have to use it again. People asking about favourite versions as well. Just remember, this game came out on the PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, and PC. And even a little handheld one, which was utter crap, called the GameCon. Right, we'll grab the stones that we need. And I think I'm going to swap it for some health, because I need health badly. Yeah, Alex, he didn't have zombies in the traditional sense. But, you know, shambling, you know, murderous, carnivorous creatures. I mean, isn't that what zombies are in this game? Might help if I actually combine the stones, that would kind of be useful. Alright, let's go face the music. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the moulded in Resi 7. I mean, I didn't mind them personally. I like the fact there were different ones. There's, you know, the big lumbering slow ones that spew at you. There's the normal ones. I like the fact as well that, you know, each hit you got on the limb sort of made it move differently. Yeah, Alex, yeah, first one, second one's good. What about Code Veronica? Where does Code Veronica rank?
Claire!
Claire's not injured all of a sudden.
Sherry, you're okay.
I'm glad to see you're safe, Claire.
I remember when I was a kid and I was playing this, I remember, you know, fiddling around with the old Action Replay cartridge, which for those people under 15 you probably won't know about, but there was a cartridge you could plug in the back of your PlayStation. It was basically like a modding device, like a cheap modding device. And I remember using a code at the start of the game so I could get all 3 of these stones automatically in the chest. So of course I brought them up here, first time. Sherry wasn't in the room. And as I tried to go in the elevator next door, Claire just stood in one place, just waiting and waiting for Sherry, who would never, ever, ever turn up. So it was here. I'd click on this.
Claire!
And this cutscene would never happen.
I'm going down there. Stay here and wait for me, okay?
Because obviously I'd skipped a trigger. The game hadn't loaded Sherry into the room, so it was trying to animate Sherry coming in here, and Claire just stood there waiting and waiting forever. So when you're a kid, you know, you're modding away on the old cheat system. I did shoot myself in the foot there. Not very smart. So for some reason, the chief of police has this secret elevator in the back of his office, which leads to a slimy area, and for some reason he keeps a medieval-looking door with burning torches down here. Yeah, he's not the kind of guy that I'd put in charge of the police department personally. He sounds nuts.
So you've made it this far. Not bad, girl. But I'm not letting anyone leave my town. Everyone's gonna die.
Calm down, Chief. What happened?
Shut up! You couldn't possibly understand what's happened. Those monsters from Umbrella have destroyed my beautiful town. How could they do that to me after everything I've done for them?
So it's true. You have been working with Umbrella. Then you must know about the G-Virus. What is it? Tell me!
If you must know, it's the agent that can turn humans into the ultimate bioweapons. Superior to the T-Virus in every way. Dr. William Birkin is the genius behind the project.
William Birkin?
I'm sure you've already seen his little girl running around here somewhere. Sherry, isn't it? In case you haven't already figured it out. The monster that's been tearing my precinct apart is yet another product of the G-Virus. An ultimate bioweapon. Umbrella must be trying to cover its tracks. But if I have to go, I'm going to take you with me. What the?
Alex, your brother isn't Rod Lima, is he? Because I have seen that remake, and that is incredible. 26 rounds, that should be more than enough. So, I think we can tell, looking at this, what happened to the mayor's daughter. Mayor Michael Warren, you may remember, if you played number 3. Of course, if you play Claire A, Birkin's the one who gets infected by the G mutant, not Ben. So that's bizarre. Oh, your brother is Rod Lima. He is a very talented guy. Are you able to tell us, have Capcom contacted him about working with them potentially? Because if I saw that on YouTube, I'd say, yeah, you're coming to work for us. That's great. Here he is. What they call the first malformation of G. And of course the music's brilliant. Sherry's dad has turned into something else. Oh, I've actually got that figurine, it's awesome. Now, William is slow, but he does pack a punch. He always gets in a few cheap swings. See you later, big guy. And see you later, Chief. Anybody else think he looks like the principal from Sabrina the Teenage Witch? It'd have to be. I don't think any of you young people, teenagers, would remember. But he was called. I think he was called Principal Willard Kraft in the show. He's also in Jingle All the Way. He plays the radio DJ who Arnie's reciting the reindeer names to. But I always thought when I played this game as a kid, I always looked at that actor and I thought he should play Chief Irons in the movie. And of course the film series came out, there was no Chief Irons, there was no Resi 2 storyline, there was nothing.
Claire, you came back!
Yeah, your dad's a
I can't
dick.
believe the man who developed the G virus is actually her father.
Just kidding, your dad's busy.
What's wrong, Claire?
It's nothing. But I think I found a way out of here. We should be able to find someplace safe if we can just make it out of town.
But...
Don't worry, I'll protect you. I promise. But you have to make sure you don't leave my side.
Yeah, best not to release the project. I understand that all the assets and that are obviously owned by Capcom. I saw on Rod's videos he was saying about it being, you know, teaching himself Unreal, educational tool. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's kind of under fair use. The difference, I think, is obviously if he was selling the assets and that's a bit different. But if he's doing it just as, you know, experimenting and that. But yeah, it'd be great to think Capcom had contacted him because his work is brilliant. Like, you know, the fact you can change camera angles is interesting. I can tell, yeah, I've been keeping up with the different playthroughs. I think there's, is it Claire A and Leon B? I think that's been done now. I mean, really impressive work, and the fact that all the original sound effects are there and the music. You may notice I keep stopping to let Sherry catch up, and that's because she's only a kid and she's a bit traumatised through all the shit that's been going on. So if you run too far away from her, you'll try and leave and she'll say, I can't leave Sherry behind. You'll look round, Sherry's cowering on the floor, looking like she's taking a dump, but she's not. So you have to keep kind of like periodically stopping so that she doesn't stop.
Come on, let's get out of here.
He's found her.
Claire?
Run!
Yeah, he hasn't noticed us, so let's just shout run really, really loudly. It won't tip him off or anything, you know. Video game logic, hey. Now you see me?
Sherry? Where are you? Sherry!
I'll leave her. She's baggage anyway. Surprising to say, Resident Evil Revelations 2 is one of the only Resis that I haven't actually finished yet. I played it a bit and it seemed, I don't know, it didn't feel like Resi. It felt like it was kind of more bordering on the whole Condemned style game, you know, running around, melee, like dodging, that kind of stuff. That's the trouble, when the series, I think Resi 4 was good. I mean, don't get me wrong, Resi 4 was good, but I think it was the start of the degeneration of the series. In that, after that, it all became about the action. You know, it suddenly became about combat. You know, Leon's doing bloody suplexes on the enemies, and it's like, hang on, I thought this was meant to be a scary game. You know, what's going on? What have you done? Now, the lighter we don't need, but the valve handle we do. And what the hell? Let's save it again. I like the fact, you know, with the typewriters and that, you know, you had to find ink ribbons. I thought that was brilliant that you might come across a typewriter and then you wouldn't have an ink ribbon, and you'd need to desperately save, and there was absolutely no way to save. So Yeah, I mean, with the remake, I hope they bring back the ink ribbons, or as they've said, potentially if they have like a classic mode, they could give you the option to play with ink ribbons, which I would like. Yeah, I'll take the first aid spray. Why the hell not? Now, of course, we're in essentially a complete mirror image of the room that Leon and Ada come into. Speak of the devil.
What happened? You're bleeding.
I ran into this woman who is in trouble. Her name's Ada. Right after that, someone tried to kill me. Nearly succeeded, too. Ada went after the sniper, but I'm worried about her. You gotta find her before something happens.
But you've been shot.
I'll be okay. It's Ada I'm worried about.
Yep, there we go. Leon's short-lived love affair with Ada. Obviously, this conversation takes place when you're playing as Ada, running off after Annette. So, that's kind of cool. Leon never does actually say, "Oh, by the way, Ada, I ran into Claire." Alex, that's a nice offer, thanks, man, but I'll probably have to decline. I mean, I think it's best in the hands of professionals, Flame rounds, because they're good for spiders, I guess. I think that's about all the flame rounds are actually good for. Can't get up the fan this time, the fan's spinning, so again, this is taking place when you're playing as Ada. I never bother killing the spiders, they're not even really a hindrance, the fact they don't crawl along the floor because of the water is quite useful. They'll only get you if you deliberately run up to them. No problem, Alex. I won't be streaming tomorrow, however, I'm going to make this a regular thing, I think, on Wednesdays, so if I don't stream before, I'll be streaming next Wednesday with the uncut version of Resi 1 that a lot of people haven't seen yet. So, thanks for joining us, and it'll be great to see you next time, buddy. Take it easy. There's Annette from where Ada knocked her off. It's Leon A.
Are you alright? What happened?
Get away from me. You
See you,
just
dude.
want my husband's G sample, don't you? But no one will take that away from me. No one.
Husband? Then you must be Annette.
How did you?
We don't have time for that. Sherry is lost somewhere in the sewer system. I have to find her.
What? I told her to go to the police building. Why is she here? Now Sherry and the G sample are both in danger.
Yeah,
What
sewage
did
will
she
do
mean
it.
by that? Does Sherry have the G sample?
Well, Claire, if you've seen the second god-awful movie, you'll know, yes, she does. Because they say, the girl in that movie, what was it? What was the second one? Apocalypse. Yeah, the little girl's based on Sherry. The dad's kind of based on William, but he's called Dr. Ashford. And I'm just like, will you stop dancing around the subject and just call him William Birkin? And just call her Sherry? Why do they have to dance around the names and dance around the references? Why can't they just say, make it an adaptation? I said it's like Harry Potter, you didn't go to see the Harry Potter film saying, oh wow, I hope they've changed everything, it'll be so boring if you know what's going to happen. They didn't adapt Harry Potter and set it in like, a mental asylum where everybody thinks they can do magic and there's a dog called Harry to reference the main character. You don't do that. Yes, you know what's going to happen if they base Resi on the game. But that's the fun of it. You imagine getting to this part in the film and going, oh my god, I wonder if they put the giant crocodile in. Sometimes knowing what's going to happen is sometimes a bit more exciting. It would have made Harry Potter a lot better, yeah. And of course, if you recast the actors, you know, the three leads, very bad acting. I mean, I know they're kids, and not all kids are great actors, but I compare, whenever I see kids acting in films, I compare them to the kids from Stand By. I didn't put the bridge back up. God, I'm such an idiot, I forgot this again. Yeah, I compare all the Harry Potter and the Nuthouse runabout, I like it. People always say, oh, they're such good actors, and I say to people, watch Stand By Me, and then tell me the Harry Potter kids are good actors. You know, River Phoenix and Corey Feldman and all that stuff, you know, all those great actors in Stand By Me, they were the same age, roughly, I think, maybe a little bit older, but they were so believable. I know acting's hard, I mean, you know, not everyone can act, of course not, but it's like they cast Daniel Radcliffe, I think, because he looked the part, not necessarily because he was a great actor. He's done incredibly well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, I'm not going to criticise that bit at all. But again, it's like he did well because he was Harry Potter, not necessarily because he's a great actor. But well, he's worth like $30 million. I mean, what do I know? Wonder if you could mod. If any of you modders out there, see if you can replace Leon's model in Resi 4 with Harry Potter from one of the Harry Potter games. That would be great. Harry Potter and the crazy Spaniards. I did see a brilliant mod somebody did in GTA 4 where they got Harry and Voldemort and put the models over Nico and Roman. So like they'd get to a motorbike and it was a broomstick that would fly. So Harry would like jump on the broomstick, Voldemort would jump on, holding onto his waist, and they'd both be flying about and you know going to a strip club and that. And again, yeah, it would have made the films better. Harry, my cousin! Let's play bowling! Harry Potter in the, I don't know, strip club of destiny. Oh, that'd be great. Hey, Voldemort! What are you doing? I checked my inventory then for the wolf medal and I suddenly like, hang on a minute, I didn't pick it up, but then I remembered I dropped it off. It's funny that they take the crank out of your inventory when you've used it for the last time, but they don't take out the valve handle. The valve handle stays in your inventory. I think that must be because you may need to backtrack again, so I guess they leave it in there just to make sure you don't get an end game. Because the last thing any developer wants is an end game. You know, reach a point in the game where you've in such a position that you can't actually get out of it. So the big spiders have gone, all the arachnophobes can uncover their eyes, and now the zombies appear, but again, doesn't matter. The fact there were only 3 zombies in the original game is quite cool. Of course, there was the green coated ones, there was the white lab coat ones, and there were the naked ones. In this one you got loads. I said you got female zombies, you got various street zombies, you got some of the police department zombies, you got that guy who just stood up who's like all decomposed. It was games like this, you know, that really pushed the PS1 to the limits. I mean, you know, they couldn't obviously render massive, huge environments, that's why the backgrounds are pre-rendered. But, you know, the polygons they had, they did a lot with them. Of course, this was 98. If you compare it to the same, you know, Tomb Raider 3 came out in 98, and you look at graphically how much better this looks than Tomb Raider 3, and it's just because they did things differently. So a lot of people, like K-Fed was saying earlier, a lot of people don't like the static cameras, a lot of people don't like the tank controls, but you got to remember, that's what the world was like 20 years ago, in 1998. You know, that was kind of what technology did. No tram car this time. I wonder if that's because Leon's already taken it. In which case, at some point, we've crossed over with Leon. Alex mentioned earlier doing the knife run on this game and getting to Birkin on the elevator. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want to use the rocket launcher.
Sherry, you're okay. give you something called G-virus? Either a vial or a test tube?
G-virus? I've never heard of anything like that before.
Are you absolutely sure? If you give it to me, I'll hold on to it for safekeeping.
But I really don't have anything. It's the truth.
But why would her mom say something like that?
Still, I get why Sherry's dressed like a little sailor boy. I mean, that's... I think it's from like a Japanese anime or a Japanese game series or something. I can't remember. If somebody could look it up online and type it in the comments, please do, because that would be great. There we go. I'll go and grab the weapon box key straight away. If you forgot the lighter, it doesn't matter. Ah, there we go. Run too far away, Sherry sits down and has a dump. You have to run back to her, tell her to stop. Save it for later. There's some toilets in the lab. That's the trouble. You'll run through an area dodging enemies, and you'll get to the very, very, very end door, and it'll say, "I can't leave without Sherry," and you've got to run all the way back and pick her up again. There we go. Hopefully Sherry's had the sense to dodge him like I did. That's the other thing as well, you know, a lot of people don't like games where you have to babysit, you know, the escort missions. I know the end of Bioshock had one, and obviously Resi 4 is one long escort mission. Sherry's a very useful distraction, as you can see. Oh, right, here we go. The bit that I think it was Alex was talking about. Birkin on the elevator.
Sherry, wait here. I'm going to check it out by myself.
Okay, I'll wait here, but hurry back.
I'm glad they added a button for that in Resi 4. Wait, follow me, wait, follow me, wait, follow me. Right, quickly juggle the old inventory. Those of you still watching, thanks for tuning in. So I'm sorry it's been a bit of a messy run, but as I said, you know, I never claimed to be a professional with this game. I think there's a time and a place for speed runs, and some games I just like savouring, you know, like just the atmosphere of this game, you know, the desolation, the ambience. I think it's nice to enjoy it. Again, that's the other reason why I don't really want to storm through with the rocket launcher. So some of you may have noticed, where the hell's the tram? It was there in scenario A. Well, that's the point. Leon's already taken it down to the lab. This is a path that Rebecca Chambers actually followed years later in Resident Evil 0, because some areas of that crossed over with this one. So we have to go into the control room and call the tram back up again. But that may be easier said than done, as the security camera on the top right will soon show us. I'll grab the key first, then I'll turn on the monitor. Better check it's all clear. Oh dear. This guy is relentless. Slow but relentless. And he doesn't like being on camera. Should be an epilepsy warning now, that's a bit right. What's up, big fella? You can dodge him, you can, you know, dodge him unscathed, but it's very, very difficult. You have to walk up to him and just keep backing away. If you play the fourth survival mode with either Hunk or Tofu, you'll notice that there's actually two tyrants in there. And there's also some ammo over here, a lot of people don't know about. Looking at the chat, the last comment from Andrew. Let's go kill our parents! Anybody tuning in right now might be a little bit confused by that. But hey, don't worry guys, it's all in the context of the game.
Okay, Sherry, let's go.
Yeah, Sherry, rather than, you know, getting out of town and finding somewhere safe, we're going to go back down again to the lab, because that's logical. So, once again, we have another boss fight. Although this time it's a little bit different. I think explosive rounds are okay against Birkin. But again, he's a bastard. You know, if you thought the Birkin fight in Leon A was hard, you ain't seen nothing yet. Again, what's cool in this is Leon's, you know, already beaten him once. But, when we see him, he's even more mutated. Butters Stotch, thanks for joining us. That's right, yeah, it was on the N64. One of the more rare versions, actually. It's very, very hard to find. It was different, wasn't it? And I know you could change, like, blood colour and that, which is quite cool. And they had all the files that would eventually go on to tell the story of Resident Evil 0. Because remember, Resident Evil 0 was meant to be out on the N64. That is the system it was originally developed for. There's videos on YouTube you can see of like the original demo being tested. Rebecca Chambers had a berry in it. Sherry, come along or I will ram this grenade launcher somewhere you don't want it to go. Butters, what was your favourite version of Resi? Was it N64 version? Have you played it on any other versions? The Dreamcast one's really nice. That's got the best FMV quality in my book. Boy, I'm glad I saved it. This isn't going to be good.
What was that?
That was your daddy.
Don't worry. Just wait here. I'll go and see what it was.
What's in the toilet this time? Flame rounds? Yeah, that could do. Yeah, Butters, definitely. I mean, that's the version I'm playing now, the GameCube version. Red light will turn on, and once again, it'll lock you outside rather than lock you in where it's safe. See, I like the GameCube version. I said graphics are good, loading times are brilliant. You can skip the cutscenes like this one if you don't really want to see them. So, yeah, good version. Whew. Right, wish me luck, guys. I have not had good luck in the game so far. Here's the remains of Leon's boss battle. Body can grow in size like a transformer. You probably noticed, of course, this is the version of Birkin that you fight at the end of the first scenario, before he becomes the massive dog thing. He is done. Whew. Nice, no wasted hits and no damage. That's actually quite good. I think my run's starting to look up a little bit. And of course no rocket launcher, because, you know, I don't want to use that. I want to play the game properly. Oh dear, we're stuck halfway down the shaft, and the motor's been stopped. Leon used it first, bastard. He made it overheat.
Isn't this...
That's okay. You keep it. I'm sure it'll keep you safe. Wait here for me, okay? I'm going back to look for your mom.
Thanks, Claire. Even though I'm an only child, neither of my parents ever spent much time with me because of their work. But now that you're with me, I finally have someone to rely upon.
Sherry.
Of course, if you play Claire A, when Sherry goes into the sewers, you may remember she gets infected. Birkin finds her and plants the embryo inside her. So she starts complaining about stomach aches. And at that point, she's unconscious almost, and Claire carries her into the lab, where that exact same conversation takes place. So of course, this is an alternate timeline, you know, it's a different telling of events. Fortunately, there's this handy air vent we can get inside. Welcome to the lab. Well, welcome back to the lab. This is one of the beta areas, which is quite cool. You can see in some of the beta versions of the game. Pretty much unchanged. Right, let's see if we can get down and find out where Sherry went. So that's quite cool. You know, you're back in the lab, but of course Scenario B is going to show you all these new areas, introduce new puzzles as well. Those people who finished Scenario A and thought that was it, they're in for a treat. You do not know what this game's going to throw at you next. Those of you who were watching earlier and saw me in the police department, you saw how surprised I was, and I've played this game for 20 years. Oh yeah, it's nice to be surprised sometimes. You can never have too many herbs, unless you're a speedrunner, in which case, you know, a lot of speedrunners, they don't tend to pick herbs up, because it, you know, takes a few seconds, it takes time, but of course that last Birkin fight, you know, they probably don't expect you to do it with no damage. Like all the enemies, you know, especially the lickers, you know, you watch Birkin's body language, you know, to work out what he's going to do. Unfortunately, he pulls his massive arms back a little bit before he swings, but when you see that, you know you can dodge around him. He advertises his moves quite easily, but it's, again, I've seen people do it with knife only. It's crazy. And of course, by the fact that they're showing you, you know, Birkin, you're fighting Birkin's, you know, form from the end of the first scenario. You're then like, you know, what's going to happen next? And of course, anyone who's played it before knows exactly what's coming at the end of the game. Probably one of the most exciting moments in gaming. And none of it was in the film, because that's how faithful the films are. Next time you hear somebody say, oh, the films are faithful to the games, you just ask them, okay, so where was Resi 2? Just read the novels by Steve Perry. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already read them. As I said before, really, really good. Really good. They take the story, they convert it into a good narrative that works. If they'd adapted the film scripts and the books, people say, oh, you know, a game's a game, a film's a film, it's very, very different. And you're like, yeah, but the books were really faithful to the games. And the books are a story, the books are a narrative, like a film. So if the film were adapted, if the films were adapted from the books, I think they'd have been great. You may be able to hear that slight hissing sound. Claire's going to do her floaty thing. There we go. How are we doing for rounds? 7 acid rounds. Right, let's go turn the power on. Or the elevator switch. It seems that when all this shit breaks loose in the lab, there's always some bastard who runs around turning all the power off to everything. Better shut down the elevators so we can't escape. Okay. Yeah. Better shut down all the power circuits so that you can't open doors or anything. It's like, are you sealing the monsters in, or are you locking yourself in? Saying that, of course, if the person knew they were infected, you know, are they kind of doing it to protect people against themselves? I think there's a lot of good stories in Resi, you know, they can make. There was that I say short-lived, there was that concept TV series, wasn't there, you may have seen Arkley, which was supposedly set before the first game, and was kind of like a murder mystery, somebody investigating, like, you know, the zombies and that. I think there's a lot of untold stories in Resi, like, you know, you read the diaries in the first game, and, you know, there's a lot of people who had, you know, a lot of stuff going on. I think there's stories to tell. I really hope that the remake of 2 does that, you know, perhaps we'll meet these different characters. Right, let's head down, and then we'll be in familiar territory at long last. Plus you've got the usual staple of the labs, the old naked zombies. Why are the zombies in the labs always naked? I always thought it was to do with the fact that, you know, if the viral outbreak started in the lab, which of course in this case it didn't, then you know, they were the first ones to be hit with it, so, you know, they've decayed the most. That's why I always thought the zombies were naked in the lab in the first game, and naked in this one. Right, now as is a good idea. And can you believe this? They expect you to do B scenario without any saves. I'm just like, yeah, okay. No saves, get the infinite Gatling gun. You'd have to use it then, wouldn't you? You'd have to just mow down everything just to show it off. That's it. A scenario with A scenario with rank A, and you get the rocket launcher. B scenario with rank A gets you. B scenario without saving gets you the Gatling gun, and I think A and B scenarios without, both A ranks gets you the infinite submachine gun. I think that's how it goes. Again, you know, testing my memory here. What we're going to do is we're going to take the flame rounds. Because Claire, unfortunately, doesn't have access to that lovely flamethrower that Leon does. And because there are so many IVs dotted around the lab, the flame rounds are really the only weapon you can use against them. You could try and dodge them, but it is not advised. We have to come back here later. I'm going to have to bring something with me, something that kicks some serious firepower, because those guys are hard to dodge. Anyone play the Dark Side Chronicles? You may remember fighting with Dr. Birkin himself in this area. As we were earlier talking about Rod Lima, he's taken lots of the 3D assets from the Dark Side Chronicles and he's obviously turned it into his own game. Use the card key, and on the right we have the shutter that leads to the experimentation room, which if we've got time we'll go back to. As I registered Leon's fingerprint. You have to do that, so in scenario B, when you register Claire's fingerprint, you can access the room. There's not a lot to see. There's a couple of clawed lickers, which are the vicious types. The more vicious types. And there's also a couple of experimental tanks. But in the N64 version, in the experiment room, there's actually a hunter. The body of a hunter, the only hunter in the whole game. Which obviously shows that Umbrella were experimenting on them in here as well. So it's likely most of the experiments in the Arkley facility potentially started life in this lab under the city. So if Leon got here first, where's the fuse? Why do we have to go and get another fuse? Unless of course the fuse already burnt out, maybe that's the excuse. I suppose there's some inconsistencies between A and B scenarios because ultimately, you know, they're meant to be different games, you know, you're not meant to have them tied, meshed completely together. But again, maybe they will in the remake, who knows? The fact is, the remake has You know, we haven't been told anything about it. All we've seen is one of the developers with his shirt saying we do it. We've heard the director of the original one saying he took the music director out for free. And other than that, it's just all fan speculation. You know, supposedly people have said, you know, they've looked into the servers and they found information and all that. That's all well and good, but I mean, you know, we need something concrete. We need to know what's going on. People thought for the 20th anniversary, you know, there'd be news. But so far, nothing. You know, if they are going to release it in 2018, surely by this point there should be screenshots. There were screenshots of this game, you know, a year before it came out. So what's going on? Oh, I don't want the Bogon bolts. The Bogon is useless. Of course, in the first one, because Sherry gets infected by the G-Virus mutant, well, in this one you have to then spend all that bloody time trying to create an antidote for her. So, that's another reason I like Claire's B scenario. Because you don't have to worry about all that, Sherry's just fine. Easy does it. Right, let's head downstairs. Past the giant plant that you may have seen in Resident Evil Outbreak? Or is it Outbreak World 2? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. You notice that ivy there, that has a red head. Those ones I think are more venomous. Or at least more dangerous. In the same way with the lickers in this game, you know, they added the clawed lickers, which are kind of green. They're stronger. They take a lot more damage. Which reminds me, I think we're going to encounter a couple now, if my memory serves me, which so far it hasn't done very well in this game. Right, let's do it. Oh, not too bad. You can take a second, have a look at this licker. As you can see, he's green rather than red. And also his claws have spikes on them. So these are the clawed lickers, these are the more powerful ones that I mentioned. Yeah, you do not want to go up against these guys. Right, so far I've got herbs coming out of my ears. I think I should be alright. Although I'm going to try not to jinx it. Because whoever saw my last run, Leon Scenario A, will know that anything can and does happen. Right, that was good placement. Let's put away some health and let's go through to Birkin's lab. Actually, I'll grab the weapon box key. There's no point in me grabbing the weapon box key if I'm not going to use it. Of course, whereas Leon gets, you know, the various upgrades and that, Claire doesn't. Like, Leon gets, obviously, the custom handgun, he gets the custom shotgun parts, he gets the custom magnum parts. Claire doesn't get any of those. But she does, of course, get the grenade launcher all to herself with the 3 different flavours of grenade rounds. So, it's not all bad. In the same way in the first game, you know, Chris had certain items that Jill didn't have. But of course, you know, they both got the bazooka. I think it was interesting them doing it this way because then, of course, you know, they have a way to differentiate both scenarios. So you play Leon A or Claire A, and then you play the B scenario. You're not literally just retracing your steps. You know, you are playing a different character with different attributes, different experience. Again, it was a clever thing to do, and it just blows my mind that this game was 70% finished, and then they just scrapped it. And they salvaged virtually nothing from it. I mean, you know, that is incredibly ballsy move. Yep, grenade rounds, we can live with that. So we're going to need every single grenade round we can get. No zombie in here, but there is in here. Again, you can dodge these guys if you quit. Oh, hello. He's a try, I'll give him that. And he's a winner. Get off. Fortunately, now they're all grouped together. Let's grab ourselves the P room key, which stands for power room, because that is exactly where we are going next. Provided I can get out of here without becoming zombie lunch. God, that was fleeky. And people asking about the fixed camera angles, that's the thing, you know, when you are restricted, it makes it more edgy and more tense because you don't know what's coming. This is where Annette dies if you play Claire scenario A. She sees William fully mutated. Tries to have a little heart-to-heart with him. And of course, you can imagine how that goes. But because that doesn't happen in Leon A, we then have a slightly different version of things in Claire B. Yeah, what the hell? We got time.
Annette!
Where's Sherry?
But I asked her, and she's never even heard of the G-Virus before.
Which room? Tell me.
Absolutely gonna finish this in one run. I'm almost at the end, so keep watching.
Sherry!
Uh-oh.
No! Annette!
The sample's inside the pendant Sherry's wearing.
Yeah, you probably could have told us that a bit earlier in that. I mean, yeah, that might come in handy. So in the first scenario, Birkin is after Sherry in order to impregnate her with one of the G embryos. In this one, Mr. X is after Sherry because he wants the G-Virus sample. Nice, one hit. Yeah, Sherry can't really get a break, poor girl, you know. There's always a monster of some description that's after her for some reason. I suppose she gets her own back on them in Resi 6 though. Although, I mean, I don't really... I mean, granted, I've only finished Leon's scenario in Resi 6. I didn't rate it particularly highly, I haven't played the others. I don't know if Sherry has some, you know, pivotal role in the film, but of course, in the game, sorry, but if you play the epilogues, if you see the epilogues of Resi 3, you find out that Sherry was interrogated by the government. Claire and Leon kind of became like almost sort of foster parents towards her. I think Sherry's story was done, you know, I don't really think they needed to crowbar her back into another game. You can get figurines of those Ivies with the red heads, they're really, really nice. I think there was one that came in a blister pack with a figure of Ada as well, which is really, really cool. Right, let's go to the power room via a naked zombie corridor, where these grenade rounds are going to shine. We got grenade rounds to spare, we'll be alright. Later, zombie dudes. Almost there. Well, cheers for sticking around, guys. I'm sorry the run hasn't been particularly great. I mean, you're not watching a master in practice. Just because I know a lot about the series does not mean I know a lot about playing the series, unfortunately. Now, some of you may be wondering, why did he push that crate up to those boxes earlier and not go up? Well, that's exactly where we're going now. Because that's where Sherry found herself cornered. Although a fair amount of time has elapsed since then. I don't know if she's just been dancing in circles around Mr. X, or if, you know, he's sitting down having a cigarette and they're just, you know, chatting about life, you know, about where they're from and all that stuff, and they're just waiting for Claire to turn up. But we'll just assume that Sherry's really good at hiding. Or moving. It's one of the things about Mr. X, you know, he doesn't move particularly quick, but then of course you think, if he was as quick as Nemesis was, this game will be over very quickly. But again, it's awesome that Nemesis and him started life as the same bit of concept work.
Sherry! Help me, Claire!
Nope, she's still there.
Ah! The monster's after your pendant. Throw it to me! Good girl. Now run, Sherry. As for you, come and get it. I've got what you want. Come on. Here. This is what you're looking for, right? Fine. Then go get it.
Oh, bad move. Terminator 2,
Sucker.
anyone?
Self-destruct sequence has been activated.
How much going, Claire?
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
So that's where Leon and Ada have their little romantic kiss when Ada's supposed to die from Leon B. And again, people say, nah, Leon A, Claire B, that is the canon storyline. That's how S.D. Perry does it in the book, and I'm happy to believe that. He's not done yet. What a great shot.
Sherry, where are you? Where is she?
Anyone else think that this game perhaps, you know, took inspiration from Aliens? Because of course in that you got Ripley, you got Newt who's hiding in the air vents, you got Ripley who's always trying to find her, protect her. I know it's the whole, you know, the mothering maternal instinct. But yeah, I always wondered if perhaps because the elevators in the first one, if you go back and play the first Resi, the elevators at the end are exactly the same elevators in Aliens, where Ripley's trying to escape from the Queen alien. And of course you've got the final boss battle is, you know, the self-destruct system counts down. And I always did wonder that if, you know, they took inspiration from Aliens. And likewise in this game, you know, potentially. Right, a couple more trips through this naked zombie hall. The Hall of Nakedness. It's like some kind of art. The Hall of Naked Zombiness. Fortunately, I got grenades to spare, so we're okay. He says. Oh, okay, no zombies. I can live with that. Maybe Leon's already cleared them all out. Right, where the hell is Sherry?
Mom! Mom!
Sherry, you have to escape. I know I've been a terrible mother, but I still love you. Forgive me.
Mom!
Sherry, we have to go now.
Oh, poor Sherry. Soon to become an orphan. So of course, as you can tell, we've just missed Ada falling off. We've just missed Leon. I'm guessing maybe that's why they got rid of all the naked zombies. Although as you'll see, they actually migrate to a place not too far away. Maybe they got rid of them all so that Claire and Sherry don't have too hard a time. Although as you saw earlier, the zombies don't really have any interest in Sherry, they just try and vomit on her. I always use her as a distraction. I wait for them to try and get her and then I quickly dodge around them. So Sherry has her uses. Oh god, I forgot, my bad. 20 years on, there's still things to get. Ah, the emergency route. So of course at the end of Leon A, Leon runs out and sees Claire's prep the train. That's the great thing about it now, so playing from Claire's point of view, we have to find the train, get the train, and leave just as Leon arrives. Again, a great concept, you know, not just to make a second game, but to actually make these two scenarios that mesh together so well. You don't see many games that do it that well, it's always just like, you know, the same story just told from somebody else's point of view. Here we are! The final stage, the train. That train is what the train in the first Resident Evil film is modelled on. So again, they say, oh, it's a nod to the game. I'm like, yeah, it's a nod to the game, but I'd rather actually see the game's story on the screen, you know?
Now you wait here, okay? I'll go and get this thing moving.
Get it moving. Self-destruct system countdown. Leon fighting Birkin as we speak. Great game. We got some good moments in this game. And of course we've got that awesome ending that's coming up. You guys are sticking around to watch the ending. I hope you won't be disappointed. Sure, I'm a little rusty, but it's all coming back to me. Save one more time, don't mind if I do. I know what's coming and I'm not looking forward to it. That's why auto aim's so useful, because of course you can run a quick turn. Quick turn of course wasn't introduced until Resident Evil Nemesis the following year after this one. So it's really, really handy being able to do it now in a way. Right, let's go. Let's go and get this thing started and get out of here. I'm ready. I love all the long shots of that train carriage. And you kind of think when you see the ending, you think, oh yeah, that's why they designed it that way. Otherwise you just think, oh, it's a long train carriage. Right, here we go. Evoke Dark Side Chronicles, again on the Wii and the PS3 and that. This area is really, really cool because they've rebuilt it.
5 minutes until detonation.
And of course you fight the tyrant, he's jumping all over the trains and that. I kind of like what the Dark Side Chronicles did, it's just... It was so actiony and it was so cheesy and it didn't give you much control. Again, it was just shoot, everything that moved. And I like this game. You know, agility pays off, strategy and managing items and that. It's a good way to do it. And I really, really hope the remake, as I said, sticks to the remake of the first game. literally minutes away. I love the end of the Resident games when they give you a time limit, you know, it really just ups the ante, makes everything a hell of a lot more exciting. Let's go dump those plugs, get the power started. Mr. X has seen better days. Something tells me maybe I should just avoid it. Does she mind anyone else in a certain other game? Didn't even use the same sound effect. Come on, mysterious figure who helps me, I need you. I need you soon.
Here, use this!
Ada!
Who are you?
Two rockets.
You lose, big guy.
That's how you do it. And good time for the power to come back on. 3 minutes, my god, every second's counting right now. Very, very cool homage to Capcom's first Resident Evil game, obviously, at the end there. Same way you beat the Tyrant. I liked how they did it in the remake as well, with the Tyrant on the helipad at the end of the remake. The way that sometimes you fire the rocket and he knocks it out of the way. And it's just like, you know, you don't see it coming. Right, I don't want to use that extra rocket by mistake, so let's... Oh, that's not fair. Oh, scenario B can kiss my ass. This is hard. That's the thing, even on a good speed run, you know, the dodging mechanics, it can be so tricky, you know, you think you're going to slip past the zombie, and then sometimes you just can't. Right, 2 minutes down, Leon had better hurry up because we are off. End of the game.
it's over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning.
My God has protected you. It will always be with you.
Claire.
Sherry.
Oh no, it's not over yet. There's something else on the train.
What was that?
Well, since nobody's answering, I guess I better go and check it out myself.
Warning, biohazardous outbreak imminent. The emergency system has been activated. This train will detonate. Repeat, this train will detonate.
Great.
No! What's wrong with this thing?
I don't know. The door won't open.
So they closed that door, but where the biohazardous outbreak is, they kept the doors unlocked. Good old gaming logic. I've seen people do this fight using just the knife. Those people are crazy and should be worshipped as gods. No chance to go to the item box. It's big, it's bad. It's not going down without a fight. Who remembers seeing this guy for the first time? Birkin's last manifestation. He's stopped even having form now, he makes no sense, it's just a... Alright, big boy, let's one rocket. I'm not going to use the handgun if anyone thinks I am. Cool, Andrew, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the run, even though it wasn't a particularly good one. Oh, he's getting close. Well, thanks for watching the stream. There we go. We're done. And you got to see the final boss taken down. Good timing, Andrew. And so Andrew, next week I will be streaming the uncut version of the original Resident Evil game. So tune in, same time, same day to watch that. For the rest of you, sit back and enjoy the ending. We finally did it. I always like to put my controller down at this point and just watch.
Warning, warning. The self-destruct system has been activated. Each train compartment will detonate sequentially. Repeat, each train compartment will detonate sequentially.
Leon, stop the train!
I can't. The door to the control room is locked.
What is it?
Sherry, get back! That's what I call ugly. Claire! Where are you?
You don't give up, do you?
Sherry! What are you doing?
We have to stop the train, right? I can do it.
Sherry! Persistent, aren't you? Well, come and get it!
Which one's the right switch? Maybe this one?
Sherry!
Claire! Ah!
Can't hold on much longer.
Push the switch over there!
Got it!
okay, Sherry?
I'm okay.
Where's Leon? Leon? Leon!
Right here.
Leon!
You're both safe. Just die. We've got to get out of here. Move it! Go! That was a close one. That was pretty impressive back there, Sherry.
It was nothing. I saw someone do that on TV once.
Come on. We've got to move out.
Now what's the problem? Is something following us?
Hey, we still have a job to do. Let's go.
Go? Oh, you can't mean...
Chris, I have to find you.
There we go, guys. Resident Evil 2 Claire B. So that's it. Pretty much. These credits are quite new to the GameCube, I think. You know, you see Claire in the background. Normally it's just a black screen in the original PS1. It does what the director's cut did in the original Resident Evil. It's quite cool. It shows you the clips over it. So that's it. Leon A, Claire B. That is essentially Resident Evil 2 finished. I know there's the... You could do them the other way round, and there was the core survivor and all that stuff. But, for me, that's the story. For me, that's the story, you know, that we played and we enjoyed 20 years ago. It's still great today. I know some people say the controls are dated, but the fact that there was so much support. I remember on the actual anniversary, people were talking about it online. Every group was talking about it. Everybody was posting about it. Everybody, myself included, everybody was playing it. And I just remember thinking, like, wow, you know, people at my age who were kids when it came out, we're adults and we're still playing it. And even 20 years on, there's so much support and so much love for it as part of the franchise. And many people consider it the best title in the series. So, as I said, you know, 20 years from now, Resident 5 and 6, I think they're going to be, you know, lying by the wayside. No one's going to care about those anymore. But I think this one will always stay great. As with the first one. Yes, Carlos, it definitely does. Hey, it's up to us to take out Umbrella. Definitely. And of course, that's what they do. Well, Leon doesn't, does he? Leon kind of becomes Neo from the Matrix and goes all superhuman, which in Resident 4, which is a bit stupid, I think, but I like the idea of Claire having that personal stake, because of course Claire then goes to France to the Umbrella facility to try and find Chris, and she's captured and taken to Rockport Island in the Pacific, and of course that's when Code Veronica starts. And it's funny that, because even though Shinji Mikami, great guy, even though Resi 3 Nemesis is considered the third one in the series, a lot of people don't. The developers consider that a side step, like Resident Evil 5. They consider Code Veronica Hideki Kamiya, who recently gave the director of the remake his blessing. So he didn't do that for a bad reason. People consider Code Veronica the follow-up. That's what I think. I agree. It's still about Claire, it's still about Code Veronica. But yeah, there we go, guys. Classic game. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I was a bit sloppy at the start. I'm thinking it's probably a B rank because I used the rocket launcher and quite a few saves. I guess that's Elsa Walker, isn't it? That's probably the remnants of Elsa Walker just with Claire's face now. So, what rank did I get? I thought it was a B. 2 hours isn't bad. Yeah, if I didn't use the rocket launcher and I saved 7 less times, I'd be alright. Well, there we go, guys. Thank you for watching. I've had a great time playing it. I'm going to have to brush up on my practice and do it a bit better next time. But next week, Wednesday night, around 6 PM GMT, I will be streaming the uncut version of Resident Evil 1 with the special intro, all the extra features, extra soundtrack. So tune in and watch if you wish. And there's my reward for next time. All the best, guys. Take care.